We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Please inhale deeply. Om. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् and welcome back after 3 weeks hiatus. So we are covering chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. Actually, hopefully, we'll be able to finish the chapter 2 today because we have covered verses 69 and 70 in the last session before our break, and now only 2 more verses are remaining. Now, one of the things that because we did have a little bit of a break, let's quickly review what Bhagwan was answering for Arjuna's question. That I want to understand who Sthita Prajna is, how does he behave in this world, and what are his characteristics. So the response from Bhagwan, Lord Krishna, starts from verse 55 and it goes all the way to 72. Now, so he starts off saying that in 55, Prajahati yada kama. So if someone wants to take a count of the words kama, ragadvesha, or indriyas, okay, between these verses, you will see that in every verse, you'll see either kama, ragadvesha, or indriya pretty much, okay, in many verses, not necessarily in all verses, right? So he says that one who pajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanyeva atmana tushta sthita prajna tada uchyate. So what he starts saying is that one who is able to control his kama, desire, and who is happy with himself, in himself, he is sthita prajna. So here is the first reference to kama, desire. Then, even though the word kama, etc., is not used, in the next verse it says, Dukkeshu udvignamanaha, Sukheshu vikataspruhaha, vitaraga bhaya krodaha, sthita dehi muni prichyate. So in here he says, when someone is not too worried when there are the problems, or one who is not extremely elated when there is a happiness, and here is raga comes, who is devoid of vitaraga, without any raga, meaning desire or likes, bhaya, fear, or krodha. So raga, bhaya, krodha, without all of this, when someone is there, that's when he is called sthita prajna. Okay. And again, that equanimity is again mentioned in the next verse. It says, Yes sarvatra na abhisneha tattat prapya shubha shubham na abhinandati na dveshti tasya prajna pratisthita. So That means he is friendly with everyone, and whether he attends good things like auspicious or inauspicious, meaning like auspicious or inauspicious is in our mind. Okay, that when we get something what we like, then we think it is auspicious, and if we don't get what we want, it is inauspicious sign. Na abhinandanti na dveshti. So he is not, neither happy nor angry. Okay, that is why. So again, it is not being angry, not being uh, happy. What it means is that he is again devoid of raga and dvesha. Then he is considered as sita prajna. And then an example is given in next verse saying that यदा संहरते चायं पूर्वोंगानिव सर्वशः इंद्रियाणि इंद्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठितः. So a example of turtle is given. So just like turtle is pulling all their hand, its limbs inside whenever there's a danger. In the same way, whenever indriya, so here the word indriya has come. In earlier we saw raga, dvesha, and kama, right? So now we are seeing indriya. So when indriyas, indriya vishayas, meaning the objects of pleasure that attracts our indriyas, when that is there, he is pulling all his indriyas back. Then he is sita prajna, right? Again, in here, again, see, the role of indriyas is said, like controlling the indriyas. Meaning, controlling indriyas means controlling raga, dvesha. Then vishaya vinivartante, niraharasya dehina rasavarjya rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. And this is not like at a higher level, but it is at a much deeper level, that one, right? So where not just you get rid of desires, but even a trace of desire, like rasavarjam rasopyasya. Okay, so that means that even a little bit of a inkling of the desire should not be there for us to uh, to be freed from this desire. Otherwise, you never know when this desire will come back and hit us. यततो ह्यपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चिता इन्द्रियाणि प्रमादीनि हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः. Again, here, the danger of indriyas, I mean, like not controlling indriyas is mentioned. That the indriyas, if they are not controlled constantly by being alert and vigilant all the time, you never know when they come and they hit and they take our mind away. तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत् मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. Therefore, one who has control of indriyas, okay, and where what is he doing? He is uniting all his indriyas, meaning jnanendriyas and karmendriyas. Even mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara are also indriyas. So all of them are in control. And when he is able to control all these indriya samuha, right? Indriya samuha means the group of indriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, and 4 mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, which is antarendriya. So these 14, when they are controlled, then he is sita prajna. Then we saw the ladder of fall. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषु उपजायते सङ्गस्सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते क्रोधादिभवते सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. So we here again, as soon as we get attached to any object, from that attachment arises desire. Right? And how do we get attached in the first place? Through indriyas. Then the desire has come, and when the desire is unfulfilled, anger has come from their delusion, from their loss of memory. Loss of memory means loss of ability to think what is right and what is wrong. Okay, and from there, the buddhi, I mean, our whole intellect is gone, and this whole intellect is the one that is differentiates us from animals. So now we are same as animals with walking on 2 legs. Therefore, what needs to be done? The to avoid this ladder of fall, it is said, Ragadvesha Vimuktaistu Vishyanindriyascharan Atma Vashishay Vidheyatma Prasadam Adhikachati. So we need to get rid of Raga and Dvesha, likes and dislikes, and then control the Indriyas so that they are not running behind Vishayas. Vishayas meaning objects. And then when someone controls their mind like that, they are going to get prasadam. Okay, prasadam adhikachati. Prasadam means here, typically prasadam means when we go to temple, we get something to eat after our puja, right? So that is prasadam. But prasada, what it means is that what is Bhagavan giving us? What is Bhagavan blessing us with is peace of mind. So this peace of mind is what you gain. And this peace of mind, prasada, prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajaayate prasannachetaso yashu buddhi paryavatishthate. So this prasada, this peace of mind can get rid of all our sorrows. Okay. Now, but now that said, what happens if my buddhi, my intellect is not functioning? Oh, if that is the case, नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिः अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. That's what it's a rhetorical question that Lord Krishna is asking. If someone's intellect is not unified or united with what? With the Lord, what happens? For such a person, where is the feeling of unity with Bhagavan? And in that case, where is the Shanti? Shanti means peace of mind. And when there is no peace of mind, where is happiness? Okay. So this is a rhetorical question. And then he again is warning us, saying, Indriyanam hi charatam yanmanonu vidhiyate tadasya harati prajna vayurnava imhambasi. So when the mind is running behind Indriyas, just like a gust of wind tilts the boat, not just tilts the boat, like sinks the boat upside down. In the same way, all our knowledge, all our prajna, okay, whatever we have gained, all of that can get lost as soon as Indriyas start their what you call attack. Okay, so for example, a simple thing, okay, we are prohibited for our own health reasons not to eat something. Maybe that's something that is tasty, like a dessert. And you understand that, and you are making sure that you are not eating dessert for a long time. But one day, maybe you're home alone, and you heard something bad news. Okay? Some bad news. It's not too bad, but some bad news. You're home alone. And then suddenly, without any, before you realize, there's a huge disturbance in the mind because you heard this bad news. And because of that, you want to let go of everything or something like that. And then you walk to the fridge, take a gallon of ice cream that is there, and you finish half of it. Okay? And this is a common thing that we all experience in one way or another. Why? Because we are, even though we know what is right and what is wrong, we are not alert and vigilant all the time. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Tasmat asya mahabaho nigruhitani sarvasha indriyani indriyadhyabhya tasya prajna pratishita. So one who controls indriyas, okay, such a person is a sthita prajna. And then he says, Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami yasya jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mudene. So this jnani, and us are two different things. One who are already reached, right? One who has reached this state of liberation. What they perceive and what we perceive are two different things. What I perceive is the world all around me, and what they perceive is Bhagwan in this world. Okay. Wherever I see this person has this problem, that person has that problem. He owes me money, I owe him money, but I'm not ready to pay him yet. Okay. I dislike this person. I'm okay. I mean, he's my friend. Like that, we have all of these kind of thoughts with in and as and when we see people, that it could be animals, it could be situations, it could be anything like living beings, non-living beings, it doesn't matter. Okay, we don't, our judgment doesn't live anything or anyone in the world. We judge anything and everything, right? So, whereas this particular jnani, he goes beyond what is visible. Okay. Uh, he goes beyond what is visible, name and form, and he sees that where did this name and form has come from? This name, I mean, this person with such a name and form is a creation of Bhagwan. In the absence of Bhagwan's, this being wouldn't have been created. In the absence of Bhagwan, this being couldn't have spoken. If this person is speaking something bad about me and that is hurting me, who has given the ability for this person to speak such things? It is Bhagwan. So that means what happened is it is Bhagwan's way of delivering a, a fruit of some action that I did in the past through this person. So, in other words, my karma phala is being fructified through this person's bad speech or bad action, even if it is bad thing. So that means because we are not going to experience anything that we don't deserve. Okay? We, either good things or bad things, we don't experience anything that we don't deserve. Anything and everything that we are experiencing is the results of our past actions. So this being who is insulting me, who appears to be insulting me, is just an agent of, like a delivery agent of my karma phala. So when they see that way, just like when we don't get angry or happy with a postman, a postal person who brings our mail, or with an Amazon delivery guy, like let's say he got us a, a $10, let's say like a $10 pen. Okay. He got $10 pen to us because that is what we ordered and that is what we paid for. He's not going to bring us a $2,000 jewelry item for the payment that we made. So any delivery that we get is based upon the payment that we made. Any experience that we are going to have today in our life is based upon whatever we have done in the past. So this person is, well, like this being, who are that negative being, right, is just the delivery agent of my own prarabdha. So when they have this kind of a thought, Yanisha Sarvabhutanam Tasya Jagat Samyami, so they are not going to see people as, okay, this person, that person, good person, bad person. No, they see that everything and everyone, in and through everything and everyone, only Bhagwan alone and the presence of Bhagwan alone. So, and here, the literal translation of this shloka is, whatever is dark for us, that is what they see, and whatever we see, it is dark for them. So we see the world, they see Bhagwan. Bhagwan is dark for us, meaning we are unable to see Bhagwan and they are able to see God. We are able to see the world and they are unable to see the world because they are only seeing Bhagwan in and through everything. And then this is Apujamana Machalam Pratishtam Samudramapa Pravishanti Yadvat Tadvat Kamayam Pravishanti Sarve Sashantim Apno. This na Kama Kami. So in this way, the when this knowledge is well established, achalam, like as in like it can never be moved. Okay, then just like uh, uh, all the water is going to merge, like water from all rivers are going to merge into ocean. And once the water merged into ocean, you cannot say whether the water came from Ganga River or Yamuna River or Godavari or Krishna or Narmada, okay, or some other rivulet or a lake, I mean, not lake, what's it, like some other canal or whatever, right? Once they come, they all merge into God, merge into ocean, and it becomes ocean water, in the losing their individual identity. In the same way, when this Sita Prajna has got this his proper knowledge, and unshakable knowledge is there. In the same way, what happens is that he, all the kamas, all the desires are gone, and he only gets peace and peace alone. And he is the only one who will get peace, not someone who has desires. So, in this entire thing that we have seen from verse 55 to 70, control of Indriyas, getting over Ragadvesha, and getting over Kama. This is a common theme that has been shown. And now, chapter 2, with respect to entire Gita, is considered as the essence of entire Bhagavad Gita, because whatever Bhagavan is going to talk, that is summarized in chapter 2. And so by showing these 25 verses out of 70 verses, talking about control of Indriyas, control of Ragadvesha, and getting rid of Kama, this is showing us what is expected of us right from the get-go. So this is in essence of this, right? So now we are going to see uh, the next two verses. So before we get on to the next two verses, are there any questions or comments from any of you? So then we'll go with verse 71. Okay, we'll chant verse 71 and then we'll go from there. Okay, so verse 71 is Vihaya Kaman Yaha. So Kaman and Yaha becomes Kamanyaha. Vihaya Kamanyaha Sarvan Puman Charati. Sarvan Puman Charati becomes Sarvan Puman Charati. So this is one word which has three words in them. Nispruhaha is the next word. Nirmamo is nir and mama. So nir mama along with sandhi with the next word becomes nirmamo. Nirahankaraha. Nir and ahankaraha, meaning lack of ahankara. Sa shanti adhigacchati. So again, there are two words in there. Shantim adhigacchati. So these are the two words. Okay. So one of you please go off mute and repeat after me. Vihaya kamanyah sarvan
विहाय कामान्यः सर्वान्
पुमांश्चरति निःस्पृहः
पुमांश्चरति निःस्पृहः
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः
स शान्तिमधिगच्छति.
स शान्तिमधिगच्छति.
So here again, who is going to give what are the pre-qualifications or what are the conditions when we are going to get Shanti? Again, now why did the word Shanti is used? Okay? Why is not moksha not used? Huh? Shanti, what exactly is Shanti? Shanti typically like we translate it as peace. So, in fact, if our spouse leaves home, we feel peaceful.
Not always. There is some disagreement here.
There is disagreement. Okay, sorry.
That's fine.
So,
That is sometimes happens, right?
so then why this?
I can say that, but not you.
Sorry?
I can say that I said when our spouse leave.
Okay. I mean, like the thing is that uh, it's both ways. It goes both ways.
Just kidding. Thank you. Yeah.
So, so what happens is Shanti. We say like even if kids go out to play after a lot of hangama at home, right? We say, now I have moment of peace. So if that is the case, why are you saying like, okay, I had to do all of this to get Shanti? Okay. So here, Shanti actually means moksha. How? Shanti means peace of mind that we all understand. Now, when you have peace of mind, what happens?
You are better able to connect to God because there is no other agitation or any other distraction. So your focus gets better and sharper
Okay.
to,
But
to,
also,
to align with the Brahman, yes.
right, at a much baser level, now if you have 5 things to do, can you say that I am peaceful? If you sit, those list of 5 things that we need to do will be bothering us. Okay. Oh, I need to do that. I need to do that. I need to do that. Okay. I don't know. I cannot sit like this. So, and similarly, when there is a dislike for someone, hatred for someone, you sit, as soon as you sit, what happens? Your mind says, remember that guy who I hate? Okay. Remember what he did? I should have done this way. And like that way, we spend our time in reminiscing those negative things. Now, so what it is that when there is tamas, there is no shanti. When we have work to do, meaning when there is rajas, there is no shanti. In fact, even when we have sattva, there is no shanti. Okay? Only shanti comes only when all this, like we do experience bouts of shanti here and there when our the tamoguna and rajoguna are asleep, let's say, or like they're at their lowest, and our sattva-guna is reveling. Okay, it is like, is at forefront. At that time, we do experience shanti. However, this particular shanti is temporary in nature. The real shanti is when all these 3 gunas are totally annihilated and you go beyond these 3 gunas. So that is when the actual shanti comes, which is freedom from everything. And that is none other than moksha. So here, in this particular shloka, what it is saying is that what are the conditions? Okay. Who is the one who gets moksha? Okay. Is first one it is said is Yahpuman, meaning Yahpuman is the one who. Okay. So where is Yahpuman? Okay. Puman is in Sarvan Pumams Charati. So that is where Puman is there. Okay. And Yaha, where is Yaha? Kaman Yaha. Yaha is there. So Yahpuman means that person. Okay. That person or any such person who is Nirahankaraha. Nirahankaraha means without any ahankara. So now, when there is no more ahankara is no, that means what? It's like a big deal. Okay, that means that like anything. See, what is our Bhagavan says? I mean, like because you already studied Gita. I mean, like many of you have studied Gita in the past several times. What is the first thing Bhagavan says? Do karma yoga. When we do karma yoga, what are we doing? We are getting rid of the results of action, attachment to the result of action. Then what he says, do karma sannyasa yoga. So then that means you're doing the work, but with the idea that I am not the doer. Okay, so that is the next step. Even then, when you're doing that, what happens is that there is always a thought that I did this work, even though I should think that I am not the doer, I did it. That kind of a feeling comes. Why does it come? Because the ahankara is very difficult to get rid of. And here, nirahankara is referring to the final state where any such trace of the presence of ahankara is gone. How does that how do we get to that? Nirmama. Nirmama means mama is mine. Right? So what are the two challenges? I mean, like, what are the things that we have? I have a notion of I,
And mine.
like that, and all this is mine. Okay, anything and everything is that I see, at least in my house, is mine. Okay, even though bank owns good amount of it as part of mortgage, but everything is mine. And then when I consider that some things are mine and some things are not mine, I want to protect what is mine, and I want to make what is not mine as mine. Okay? So this is how we see. So then what happens? In order to protect what is mine, I'm working hard. Why? Okay. Think about all your insurance policies. What? To protect what is yours. Okay. Whether it's health insurance, whether it's car insurance, whether it's home insurance, all of those are for that. All our healthcare, beauty, and everything is what? To protect our body. Okay. So like that, if you see, all the medications that we take, again, is to protect our body, right? So like that, anything and everything that we are doing, majority of it is to protect what we already have. Then what happens? The other next word is nispruhaha is the next word. Okay. So this is one side of the equation, and the other side is nispruhaha. Spruha. Spruha is actually like sometimes in at least in colloquial language like Telugu, when they say spruha, when a person is in coma or something, and like as in, like let's say a surgery is being done, and he's under anesthesia, and whether he woke up or not, we say like, did this person come into spruha or not? Okay? But from a Vedantic perspective, the original meaning of spruha is a desire for happiness is spruha. Okay? Desire for happiness from objects. So that is wanting joy from objects is sukha asha, and that is spruha. So now nispruha means there is no want to get joy from objects. Now we said that we can classify the world into two things, what is mine and what is not mine. So in nirmama, I got rid of the thought of what is mine, and now I don't have to work for protecting what I already have. And nispruha, what we're doing is whatever is not mine, I'm trying to make it as mine. So that means, like, let us say, like all my jobs, I mean, like all of us, when we are doing our jobs, okay, what are we doing job for? To get some money that doesn't belong to us yet, right? So every salary, like every monthly salary or weekly salary or bi-weekly salary is nothing but something it did not belong to us, but because we worked, now it became ours. So that is what we are working for. So nispruha means getting rid of that joy from objects. So nirahankara, which will come because of nirmama and nispruha. And so not and how is this? Because like to like, so for example, um, me being a Hindu, vegetarian, etc. If I see a steakhouse, there is a mama at nispruha or spruha. Why? I don't care. Because I don't eat meat, so steakhouse, walking from in front of steakhouse has got no impact on me. But on the other hand, the moment I see a Indian buffet place, then my mind starts thinking, I don't know whether they have biryani. I don't know whether they're going to serve chapati or paratha or naan or puri. What are they going to serve? So suddenly my mind goes on a overdrive. So again, the point is, I may have nirmama or nispruha for one thing doesn't mean that I have nirmama and nispruha for everything. So Bhagavan want to make sure that it has to be for everything. So that's why he uses sarvan kaman. Okay, so vihaya. So when you're thinking about nispruha nirmama, don't think about like, okay, oh, I won over one thing. Actually, Puja Gurudev gives an example. One guy was smoking. So he says that get rid of smoking. I mean, like someone tells him. And then this person works harder and harder, and eventually he got rid of smoking. Then he goes and tells, oh, now I don't smoke anymore. Oh, that's good. Very nice. Yeah. But what is that in your mouth? Oh, this is my pan. When did you start eating pan? It is because, like whenever I feel like smoking, instead of lighting a cigarette, I start eating pan. So now, before you try to stop smoking, how many pans were you eating? Maybe once a month. Now, how many are you eating? About 25 pans a day, right? So what happens is that this is something that we do all the time. That is like whenever we try to conquer something, we substitute one with another. We have a tendency to substitute one with other. So Bhagavan is saying, Sarvan Kaman Vihaya Charati. Okay, get rid of all the desires, Sarvan Kaman, all the desires, and Vihaya, drop off, and Charati. So that is what, who does this? It is done by a Jnani. So a Jnani is Nirahankara, there is no Mamakara, there is no Spruha, and there is no Kama. Such a person is the one who attains Shanti. Saha Shantim Adhigachati. Such a person attains absolute peace. This is what Bhagavan said in this shloka. So any questions or comments before we move to the next verse.
Can you hear me now?
I think
Yes, yes, Atul.
The question I have here is that the word ahankara here
Mhm.
and nirahankara in this case, is that without the sense of kartutva and bhoktutva, is that the word ahankara stands? It doesn't stand for manitvam, right?
Yeah, so it is basically all, right? So what happens is that if you look at our identity association with the body is goes from our physical. I mean, like they say, like our identification goes like this, right? We identify as spouse of our spouse.
Mhm.
Okay. There's an abhimanatva is there is an association is there.
Yeah.
Okay. But it is easy to get rid of in the sense like it, at least mentally, because see, I have become spouse on a particular day, right, of a particular year. Prior to that, I wasn't spouse. Okay. I have become father on a particular day at a particular time. Prior to that, I was not a father. Like that, all the associations with the external things can be relatively easier to break. Then comes the physical body. When I look at my physical body, I say, this is me. But if the doctor says that, hey, okay, the gangrene in the leg is so bad that it has to be amputated, I will say, yeah, go ahead, take off the leg so I can save the rest of the body.
Mhm.
Okay, so the association with this one. Now, then comes karmendriyas. Association with the karmendriyas is stronger. Compared to that, association with the jnanendriyas are much stronger. Compared to that, our thoughts much stronger. So, for example, if someone hits you, right? Okay. So let us say someone beats you physically, okay, like hurts you physically, you'll get hurt. Okay, but that pain of the physical of that hurt on the physical body is probably lasts for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But the pain, the idea that this person hit me lasts for decades.
Yes.
Okay. So the decades, so why? Because I start identifying with my mind and my mind got like I am insulted. That kind of a thought is there. Right. So then again, my mind thinks so many things. Okay. Let us say, mm, uh, I tell Maha that, let's go to, I don't know, like let's say, let's go to Mexico. She says, no, 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 let's go to Canada.
Mhm.
Okay. So then what happened is that my feelings or my mind are violated. Violated in the sense like, they are like, no, overrated, right? So then there is a particular pain. Okay. There's a particular level of pain. Now compare that with, I tell that in my opinion, this is the right thing to do. And she says, no, 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 this is not the right thing to do. The other thing is the right thing to do. You don't know how to think. Which is more hurtful?
yes.
Going to Mexico versus Canada, or this saying that, okay, you don't know how to think, you're not thinking straight.
Second one.
The second one. So why? Because what happens compared to mind, intellect is something that we identify more strongly with. Okay. Now, compared to intellect, also, the me as Ahankara is much more stronger identification that we cannot give up.
Mhm.
Okay. So that is why Bhagavan said, Nirahankaraha. So get rid of that. So to get to that point, we have to get rid of all others. So like, I mean, like we have to get rid of our love for our intellect. We have to get rid of our love for our mind, body. Everything has to be done. Only after like, conquering all these little things, then that's when we can think about conquering the love or attachment for our ahankara, our own ahankara. Because at the end of the day, who is saying that I don't have any more ahankara?
It is the Ahankara itself is trying to say.
So ahankara itself says that I don't have any ahankara. So I mean, like there used to be. I mean, like I think Puja Guruji, I think he used to tell a joke kind of a thing, right? Which is he says uh, there is a prize of $100,000 for whoever has most humility. The only catch is that that person has to come and claim the prize.
So, Venkatji, I kind of get what you just mentioned, that the ahankara is probably sitting deep inside, behind the mind and even the intellect and all that. But if you so if if you think about ahankara as a product of agnanam,
Hmm?
and so my next question, and perhaps that maybe the answer lies right in there, that you mentioned that you have to get rid of your attachment to the mind and the intellect, and of course with all the karmenya gnanindriya and the body and all that. It's just like cutting the limbs off of the ahankara, but the ahankara may still stay there until you do obtain the gnanam, basically understanding the ahankara indeed is mithya, therefore it doesn't exist. And once you get to that point,
Mhm.
is you know, and again that again comes back to having this sense of kartutvam and bhoktutvam.
Mhm.
I guess they're all intertwined together, aren't they? In that sense.
Mhm. Yeah, so knowledge helps, right? But what happens at a Shravana level, when the knowledge says that, okay, I'm not this Ahankara, Ahankara is Kartatva Bhokta, I'm not Karta, I'm not Bhokta, who is saying that? Ahankara is the one who is saying that. I'm not Karta, I'm not Bhokta. Okay? And it is happy and it is proud that I have the knowledge of this Vedanta where I know that I am neither karta nor bhokta. So what happens is this is what you call as spiritual ahankara, which is much more stronger than getting rid of the regular ahankara.
Hmm.
So, so that is where the mananam again to make the ahankara understand what exactly it really means, right? After the Shravana, Manana has to be done. And after Manana, Nididhyasana, the abiding in that truth
Mhm.
is to be done. When all of these three are being done on a constant basis, that is when the ahankara becomes weaker and weaker because now you are listening about the nature of your true nature and you are also understanding the nature of ahankara and then you're able to slowly understand that you are not ahankara, right? As you're doing that slowly, it's a long process, but eventually we'll get out
Mhm.
ahankara and will become nirahankara. And but for that, again, the starting step is karma yoga. And the carefulness that we need to be like mindful is getting rid of raga, dvesha, kama, and staying and controlling indriyas. So these are some of the prerequisites to get to this point.
Perhaps maybe a question may not necessarily be associated here, but when you say karma yoga, I mean we understand the classic definition of Ishwarpan Buddhi and the Prasad Buddhi are the
Mhm,
two important components of karma yoga.
mhm.
But the karma yoga, does that also include the services to the society, nishkam karma to the society? Is that part of the karma yoga, or the karma yoga could be independent of, or does not have to include that component?
So nishkama karma is see the thing is that like what are the four components of karma yoga? Nishkama karma, meaning like okay, you have to you do this nishkama karma with what feeling? So like what kind of karmas that you are going to do? is your
No
niyata
desire
karma.
for the fruit of actions.
So the type of actions that you must perform is niyata karma, number one. Niyata karma means your obligatory duties is what like you need to do, whether it's on a daily duties or infrequent duties, but you must only perform your duties. Then that means what? Your desire-based actions cannot be done. Kamya karma is not out. Now, if kamya karma itself is out, then the other type of karma, which is nishiddha karma, meaning prohibited actions, is also out, right? Because there's no prohibited action, right? Nishiddha karma is not there, then you don't need to do prayaschitta karma either.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, when you say like I must do niyata karma, nitya karma and naimita karma, what are your niyata karmas? Okay? So you have duty for yourself. So that means brushing your teeth and taking medicine and eating food in time, all of them are niyata karmas only, right? Eating healthy food, etc. Now, when you say, "Oh, I want to eat healthy food, but this has to be made by only like I only eat the food that is made by my wife and nobody else," okay? So then that becomes kamya karma. The same niyata karma becomes kamya karma, and so the now who all you have responsibility for? You have a responsibility for your own body. Depending upon the stature of your life, you have responsibility for either your parents or kids or both. Okay, as a family member. Depending on the type of work that you're doing, right? Maybe a job, let's say if it is a job, you have a responsibility for your employer. If you're a manager at work, you have a responsibility for your employees, right? As a society member, as a member of the society, you have responsibilities for the society, right? And as a human being who is part of this eternal cycle, I mean, like eternal, I mean, like this world, what happens? You have responsibility for not just human being, but all the jivas in and around you, right? So that means that you have responsibility for your climate action. You have responsibility for your environment all around you. So when all of these are there, and if you take care of all of these, right? Without expecting any result, with Ishwararpana, I mean, like with the Prasada Buddhi, and with the thought that you are only performing it for Ishvara. So, what other seva that you need to do?
What was the question?
Your question was, do we need to do seva also, right?
Right.
Okay, so now, understanding that you have responsibilities for all of those, then where is the question of doing quote unquote seva? Because whatever you're doing is your responsibility already. In Western culture, what happens is that in Western tradition, okay, the the human beings, I mean, like in Abrahamic religions, etc., human beings are created, and of course, the world is also created, and the world is created for the
Consumption.
consumption by human beings,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, so there's fish and the entire fish in the waters is created by God, so humans can eat. Okay, so the cows are created so that humans can eat. Like that, everything in this world is available for humans to consume and enjoy. That is that I mean that as I understand that is thing, but like I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Now, kind of a premise is there about the relationship between the world and you. So, who is the first for you is yourself. First and foremost is yourself. Anything that you do for outsider is seva.
Yeah.
So that is where the concept of seva, or I mean, like the charity, the concept of those kind of words, right? Service, charity, etc. Those kind of words have come with that kind of a premise. Whereas if you see, I mean, like, so for example, as a gruhastha, right? Like in our society, you see that there are four classes, right? I mean, four ashramas: brahmacharya, Gruhastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Now, Brahmacharya, a person is studying. So if a person is studying, he is not earning. Okay. Vanaprastha, a person is taking retirement. He is giving up his stuff and he is passing over like all his responsibilities to someone else, and he is turning his attention around. Sannyasi has given up everything, and he is only even the clothes that he is wearing is only for the sake of society, and he is living on alms and in order to attain mukti or moksha. Now, see that in this society, in this class, and the idea is that we all must go through these 4 stages of life according to Hinduism. When that is there, now of these 4, who is the earner?
Grihastha.
Only Gruhastha alone is the earner, nobody else. So that means whose responsibility is to feed the brahmacharyas or vanaprasthis or sannyasis? It is Gruhastha. Now, there is no specific thing that is mentioned that, oh, Gruhasthas must do seva. No. Okay. It is their responsibility to feed brahmacharis as well as sannyasis and vanaprasthis. So there we did not categorize seva or service or charity as a separate line item. Rather, we considered all of that as a personal responsibility, which will be part of niyata karma.
Duties, I would call duties. That,
Yeah.
that's part, yeah.
Personal duties, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So give up ego and egocentric desires, and that's the sannyas we need to work on. Okay, let's go to the next one. Are we
So,
finishing today?
yeah, so we will probably do that next week.
Next.
Good?
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. So any other questions or comments before we close?
No, I think it is very interesting that the same thing is being repeated in different ways. And basically, as you summarized earlier, we have to focus on all these elements together. Like we have to give rid of the desires, the anger, the lobe. We have to have equanimity and no likes, no dislikes, and try to eliminate all our doer. I'm not doer. It's him. Is the everything is his, and to remind ourselves constantly that who am I? I am Brahman. I'm not this. Even though I have to conduct myself as Chand and I have to work with people around me, but deep down, my identity has to be again more aligned to the divine. And if we keep that in focus and be alert, vigilant, and conscious of that, then it might start to penetrate slowly, because otherwise it gets washed out quickly. We leave this session, we're back to square one. It doesn't happen. But again, I think small drips and drabs, it can penetrate.
Very good point. Good summary.
Yeah, Hinaji, you are very quiet today. I mean, you're always quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, everything is said, and it's it is kind of hard. It's like catch 22. You try your level best constantly, but it's like having no ego at all. It's kind of almost impossible until we get the perfect knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, see, the thing is that understand that everybody, like all the saints who are saints today, right? All the jnanis who attained moksha, they all were in a similar boat as us at one point, right? And it is something like this, right? If you're running a marathon, okay, you cannot be in Boston, like, the finish line and say, okay, I'm going to take the last step before the finish line and run, and I can say I have completed the marathon, right? You start somewhere in Hopkinton, and every step you took forward, everything counts. Okay? You might not have seen the goal because the goal is not in front of you. You probably don't know how far you ran. You don't know how much more to go. But every step that we are taking is the step in right direction. Meaning that as long as we are sticking to the the dharma and scriptures, right? As long as so
Mm.
every step we take is towards the right thing only. So uh, we don't need to worry about when I'm going to get rid of my ahankara, right?
Mm.
So we just do what we need to do, and then God will take care of it. So we'll come to that point at some point, hopefully in this lifetime itself.
Yes. Yeah, tathastu.
To say, when am I going to get rid of my ahankara itself is in its own way ahankara, because when am I going to, that I-ness is still there. So that itself also will be an ahankara.
Yeah. Also, what happens is that it also violates the principle of karma yoga. Right? In karma yoga, you're not expecting any result, right? So any fruit of any a particular result, right, by a particular time or something like that. And when you are saying that when am I going to gain moksha, that means that the our karma yoga bhavana is not solid yet.
Correct.
Yeah. Shall we close?
Yeah.
Oh. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. Thank you all. Welcome back. And